much was always made of my friendship with Bob. Uh, and that's not something I'd shy away from. We were and are friends. But I was friends with a whole lot of coaches from the days when I was covering high school coaches. Those people became my friends. I enjoyed those people, and part of the reason I think they always felt they could open up with me was that I wasn't a second guy. I wasn't into second guess. That wasn't my. I wasn't shying away from it. I simply didn't want to do that. I didn't think I knew more than they did. I never felt comfortable trying to be an expert when I didn't. I knew I didn't know the story as well as the guy making the decision. So some of them are my best friends all the way up. And the coach who came to Huntington when I was still sports writer there, a guy named Bob Strait, was very much a Bob Knight type of coach in the sense of really teaching defense, really teaching basketball rather than kind of shaping fast breaks and so forth, actually teaching the game. And he was a great introduction to me to the Bob Knight style, because sitting through one practice with Bob Strait when he came to town I was aware this is a whole different game. This is not the same what I've been used to watching. It was the same way with Bob Knight. When I saw his early practice with Indiana, I thought, the Big Ten isn't ready for this. This isn't the way they play the game in the Big Ten. There's going to be some shaping up going on. Now, of course, it took a while to get it taught, but I think the Bob Knight style of basketball, just as the Bob Strait style of basketball at Huntington, is it's sort of the educated way to play basketball, rather than relying on chance and relying on skills. It's also you want those skills. You still have to have the players that can put the ball in the basket and do the various things. But if they're a step ahead on intelligence, Bob's key word was anticipation. If a guy's here with the ball, there are only 2 or 3 things he can do. Take them away. Take one of them away. Just know what the next step has to be and take it away. That's pretty simple, but it's not taught a lot of places. And that kind of anticipation breeds tremendous confidence. The players know how to handle things because they've seen this is there, and I know what's going to happen next. We'll take it away. But Bob Strait, to this day, is one of my closest friends, and that covers 60 years. So,
why do you think it's such a perceived no-no for journalists and coaches to be close?
Well, yeah, there's a certain wisdom in separating sources and writers, but it's also unrealistic because you can't tell me they don't have relationships of some sort, either antagonistic or positive. But I think the greatest example of that was that during the Kennedy years, one of his close friends before he was in president and after he was president was Ben Bradley of the Washington Post. They maintained a tight relationship, and the Republic survived, and so did the Post. So I suspect if they can happen at a presidential level, what I did at a coaching level was probably not all that earth-shaking.